My name is Wydett Williams, and my story begins in a little town you might not have heard of, Lake Providence, Louisiana. It's where my grandmother, Lillian Williams, was born in 1942. Back then, Lake Providence was a quiet, struggling town. Poverty was everywhere, and opportunity felt like it belonged to someone else. For most black families like her, school came second to survival. Cotton came first. My great grandmother couldn't read or write, but she had a wisdom that ran deep. She told Grandma Lillian, "Your hands may work these fields, but your mind is meant for more." So every morning, my grandmother walked 2 miles down a dusty road to a segregated school that barely had enough desks. She read torn up books and wrote with dull pencils, but she never stopped showing up. When she was 12, she found a secondhand typewriter the church pastor had salvaged. She taught herself how to type on it, typing out poems, letters, and dreams. That old machine was her passport to something bigger. She graduated from high school at 16, the first in her family. Then she did something no one expected. She left Lake Providence to attend Southern University in Baton Rouge. She worked nights, cleaning offices, and spent her days in classrooms, sometimes too tired to stand, but never too tired to learn. She failed some classes early on, but not because she wasn't smart, but because she had no one to ever teach her how to study. But she learned, she adapted, she refused to give up. It took 6 long years, but she earned her degree in elementary education. And then she came back, not to leave the struggle behind, but to be part of the solution. Grandma Lillian returned to Lake Providence and became a teacher at the very school where she once sat as a little girl. The walls were still worn and the books still old, but her energy was brand new. For over 40 years, she poured her life into the students she had taught with a chalkboard in one hand and a heart full of hope in the other. She didn't just teach multiplication and reading. She taught self-work. She taught confidence. She told every child who sat in her classroom, "You are not too poor to dream." Her classroom was more than a place to learn. It was a refuge, a place where kids could be safe, seen, and supported. She bought supplies with her own paycheck. She stayed after school with students who needed extra help. She hosted family reading nights, baked cakes for graduations, and even drove students to college visits in her old blue Chevy. She made that she made sure that education wasn't something you just got. It was something you believed in. Her impact rippled the community, for students grew up become nurses, teachers, pastors, electricians, and even the city officials. And nearly all of them say the same thing when you talk about her. Mrs. Williams changed my life. She didn't have much money, she didn't have social media or a microphone, but she had influence. And that was enough to change lives. Not just for me, but to continue what she started. From cotton fields to classrooms, my grandmother's legacy lives on in me, Wydett Williams.